Hey, good morning, everybody. As you can tell, I'm not on the Appalachian Trail right now. After 2 weeks of my Head Start, I decided to end the Head Start. The shift in the weather pattern really kind of threw me a little bit. I had gear ready for the Smokies, but I did not have gear ready to get me to the Smokies. So I felt like the short-term gains I was getting could jeopardize the long-term goal. So I decided to pull off and rest up for the winter and get ready to come back at the end of February, 1st of March, somewhere in that time frame. So part of the decision to go ahead and end early was that I've got a long way to go, and I don't want to end it by making a mistake this early into the hike. So it's a very important hike to me, and I'm excited about it, and I want to make sure I'm enjoying every moment of it. So I did learn a lot while I was on the trail, and so I wanted to share about 12 little items with you. So the first thing I want to share with you is these are all by my choice and my experience. So I'm not saying everybody should do this, but my first number one item was my boots. I was very, very happy that I chose to wear my boots at the last minute. They worked for me. They were waterproof. They kept my feet warm, and they gave me good support as well as traction on the wet trails. Of course, you can't battle wet roots or wet leaves on top of wet leaves or rocks, especially rocks with moss or anything else. So, but the boots worked well for me. And they probably wouldn't work well for everybody. So that's my number one. Number two, I would encourage everybody to take advantage of the outfitters on the trail at Mountain Crossings and as well as in Franklin at Outdoor 76, where they offer free fittings and they'll do shakedowns for you. I had a fitting at Mountain Crossings and learned a lot about the way I was wearing my pack and made some adjustments. So it really helped out for the rest of my 2-week trek. I would also encourage everybody to take advantage of the folks coming at you, the people that are heading southbound, to interact a little bit, ask some questions. I got great information on upcoming views as well as obstacles that might have been on the trail, things that they had experienced just a little bit away, and so definitely take advantage of those folks that are heading in opposite directions. So from an older person's perspective, Venmo is somewhat new to me, but it seems to be the way of exchanging currency on the trail, especially with shuttles and at hostels. So if you don't have Venmo, I would encourage you to get Venmo. Between Venmo and cash, Venmo was much easier. Otherwise, you're trying to find ATMs to get cash all the time. So Venmo was definitely a positive. So I'd also say my next one is do not take water for granted. Water will probably be more abundant in the spring than in the fall, but I encourage, if you're going by, I would just fill up on water whenever you have the opportunity. Found out a couple of times, never ran out, but got very close. And especially if you're planning to camp without a water source close by, you want to always make sure you've got plenty of water. Also, for you folks that are going out early in the year, I would encourage you to, on Twitter, follow the Smokies Road information site. It gives you quick updates on what roads are closing, what roads are open, and the status of those throughways, especially if you're planning to do resupply or you want to know if there's going to be a way out, if you need a way out or a way for a shuttle to come get you or whatever. Just in the short time that I followed it, there were several road closings and openings, and it looked like closings were about to happen again. So the next one is to make sure when you're using far out to read the descriptions in all the locations. So even if it's like a road crossing or so on, we found actually some good campsites that were listed, but it's in the description down below at road crossings or trail crossings that we probably wouldn't have known, and we were able to get that much farther and know that we had a campsite when we got there. So read the descriptions inside all of the location markers on Far Out. I kept a small notebook and rainproof notebook and rainproof pen with me when I was on the trail, and there were times where I would think of either a food item or an equipment piece or something that I needed that I was able to jot down. You could probably do it on your phone as well with notes, but I found it much more easy to tear off that piece of paper and take it with me when I would go into town and do some resupply, or I would make notes of where I was or other things. But yeah, if you feel comfortable bringing a little bit of paper with you or something to write on, if you're a little more old school and that's the way you want to do it, then I would encourage that. My next tip is to actually hang your food bag after you get to camp, but before you cook dinner. If you hang it and you get that all out of the way, you can leave it lowered until you're ready to secure it at night. Especially if you're hiking right before dark. You don't want to try to hang your food bag when it gets dark, believe me. So that was a good lesson to learn, was to hang it but leave it low so you can access it. My most important lesson was I found actually one of the Sobos told me about the site atweather.org. And what's nice about that weather app is that it hones in on any shelter on the AT and gives you very specific weather for that for up to 7 days. And it really, instead of looking at the towns around you, it takes into account the elevation and the nuances of being in the mountains. So it really gave me a lot of good information that helped me to make some decent decisions. Next, I would encourage you to have a very efficient town routine so that you can go in and do your resupply, get your laundry done, find your way to a shuttle, go to a restaurant, do all those things that you need to get done, especially if you're trying to do a Nero. When you're doing a Nero, you're really limited on your amount of time, and so having a good routine or ready to go, I think would help. So what's next? I am planning to get back on trail at the end of February, 1st of March, and in between that time and now, I'm planning to continue to train. I'm going to dial in a little bit more on my equipment. There are a couple of things I think I want to change out or not take with me next time. And I've also got a couple of big adventures planned during the next couple of months. So I'll still be doing videos on occasion, but not quite as regular, and I hope to see you guys there. I cannot believe that I have over 200 subscribers. Never thought I'd have over 10. Really, set this up as kind of a family thing, but now you're all part of the family, the Polar Bear family. So thank you, and we'll see you soon.